What's going on, everybody? Hopefully, you're having a great day. If not, hopefully, for these next few moments, can kind of take your mind off of it. So, I got to talk about Drew Holiday, who got an extension, 4 years, 135 million from the Boston Celtics. It was a bit of a talking point for most of this season as to what the Celtics were going to do with Drew Holiday. What would Drew Holiday necessarily want to do for his career in terms of sticking around in Boston? Did he want to go somewhere? You know, it's a players' league, so obviously in this extension, both parties have to be happy with it. Now for Drew Holiday, he's averaging with 13 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists, give or take, 43% from three, which is great. I think he's got averages some crazy percentage, like 60 something percent from the corner, which is where he takes a lot of threes on this team in this offense. He's given them the defense that a lot of people, were worried about when Marcus Smart was traded, that they weren't going to be able to replicate. He's kind of filled into that role along with Derek White and some others to step up that part of the defense as well. But look, he's 33 years old. He's not young. 4 years down the line, he'd be 37, 38, depending on his birthday. And just looking at what the Celtics have done recently, Jaylen Brown has the 5-year, $304 million extension that kicks in next year. Jason Tatum's up for a supermax as well, which would be 5 and 318. You have Porzingis at 2 and 60. Pritchard's 4 and 30. They still have to make a decision on Derek White. So when you start thinking about those numbers, it's a pretty expensive team. But I do think that there is a clear message that's being sent to Celtics fans with this deal, which I'll get into here in a second. But I just wanted to add also that looking at the deal with Portland, because remember, Holiday went to Portland in the Lillard trade. Portland let it be known, we're not keeping him. So he's out there on the market. The Celtics step in, get him. The 62 wins later, which is what they're currently at, seems like a great fit. The trade obviously has swayed mightily in Boston's favor. Robert Williams has dealt with more injuries this season. Malcolm Brogdon, I believe, is currently injured, while Drew Holiday has been a staple on the best team with the best record in the league. So Celtics definitely won that. Brad Stevens, you got to give him a lot of credit for swinging that deal. But yeah, so looking forward, like Drew Holiday should be fine 4 years from now. Not like he's a high flyer. He's not a high volume scorer. He's not anything like that. He's basically what Al Horford is. A guy who's a vet, just knows how to be a pro, leadership, model teammate. No ego, nothing like that. Haven't heard a peep from Drew Holiday. He goes out there, does his job. The team has been winning. So why not keep them together? But like I said, Tatum, that's still down the line. I guess next year, figure that's coming in with the 5 and 318, which is what he's eligible for. Derek White, we'll have to see. Have to see what the market leads to for a guy like that. I don't know. Does he end up getting something similar to what Drew Holiday just signed? Somewhere around that. I mean, Derek White is younger, but I feel like if you look at the two of them, maybe similar roles they both fill. I think some Celtics fans might be wondering, what exactly are they trying to do here? Like, why does this make sense for the Celtics? And what does it mean going forward? I feel like the answer to both of those questions can be seen in one team. Golden State. A lot of teams are trying to copy the Golden State model. So for the Celtics, if you look at it, Tatum and Brown, still young. They're being surrounded by Porzingis, Holiday. Well, Pritchard's young as well, but Pritchard's like a bench guy. But you kind of get where I'm coming from. The Warriors, through the draft, get these guys, have them grow together, and now we look at it, they've won championships in what, 12, 15, 18, 22. Yeah. They won 4 titles. I might be off on the years, don't quote me, but they won 4 titles together. That's where the deal makes sense for the Celtics. The Celtics are trying to get over that mountaintop. Like I said, great season so far, but obviously they have a lot to prove once they get to the playoffs. So if you are Celtics management, you're Brad Stevens, if you look at these moves, because most of these guys, like I said, are on 4-year deals or 5 in terms of Brown and Tatum. Let's say 5, 6 years down the line, we're looking at Tatum and Brown, Holiday, these guys winning 1, 2 titles. I feel like it makes sense. Like, to ask them to go out and win 4 in a 7-year span, that might be asking a lot. But if they can get a title or 2, you'd have to say it was well worth it, right? But also with the Warriors could lead to possible issues with this. Because if you look at the Warriors now, they're a 10th place team in the West. I get it. People say the West is so difficult. But if you watch the Warriors play, it doesn't look the same as it did a few years ago, right? And why is that? Well, one, the core is now older. Curry's like 35? I think Thompson's I believe Thompson is the youngest one, maybe like 33. Draymond is like 34, 35 or something like that. And for the most part, they're all still performing somewhat like they used to. At least Curry and Draymond. Clay coming off the injuries, he's trying to battle back. He's been playing well recently, which is encouraging to the Warriors fans. But the biggest issue's been surrounding these 3 with younger players to kind of take some of the burden off of them, which is something that, looking at the Celtics going forward, if you're going to put all that money into the guys I mentioned, that puts a more emphasis on the draft, because through the draft, you get cheaper options in terms of filling out your bench and your rotation. Because look at the Celtics team now. Guys like, Luke Cornett, Sam Hauser, O'Shea Brissett, these guys aren't costing you much. And for some of them, they may be sticking around for a while because they may never be high cost options. But you still have to kind of almost reset the chairs around Tatum and Brown, because that's like your main core, with hitting it in the draft. And the issue is going to be, I guess, kind of like what Golden State dealt with for the most part. If you have success, that means you're drafting in the late first round, late 20s. If you win a title, 30. And with the NBA draft, it's a crapshoot once you get out of the lottery, for the most part. I mean, most years the lottery is a crapshoot, but that puts pressure on your scouting department. Guys like that, finding gems late in the first round that can fill little roles around your key pieces. So the reason you do the Holiday deal is to set up a model like early Curry, Clay, Draymond era Warriors, where you just become somewhat of a juggernaut for a few years and capitalize on it. I guess you had these 3, but you had like Sean Livingston's. You had Andrew Bogut's, Andre Iguodala's, guys like that who were key participants in these 3 winning it. So the hope is for the Celtics, Holiday, Pritchard, Porzingis, those guys help Tatum and Brown win a banner or 2, like I said. But ultimately, all this comes down to these 2 right here. So I put up there basically all the Celtics championships, because when you have that many championships, in a city like Boston, in a market like Boston. That's what every season comes down to. Did they do it, or did they come up short? And look, for Brown and Tatum, they have a lot of detractors out there. NBA media, there's a lot of guys who don't think Brown's worth what he got. There's a lot who say Tatum comes up small in big moments and will question him when he gets the Supermax. But they could put all that aside and the big price tag, which, trust me, it's a hefty price tag, aside if they get it done this season, next season, pretty soon. Because them being the team that's, kind of new to the block, making conference finals, making a finals appearance, people are done with that. Now it's, when can you hoist that banner? They're the favorites this year, along with Denver, because a lot of people are, well, I can't say that anymore, but this season kind of seemed like we're a season where Denver flew under the radar for most of it. But you look at them, they're the 1 seed in the West, most likely going into the playoffs will be the number 1 seed. Celtics have such a big lead in the East. It seems like we're on a collision course of Boston versus Denver, but you never know, because that's why they play the games. But let me know what you think in the comment section. Like, do you agree with them extending Jrue Holiday? I mean, obviously, Brad Stevens has shown he's not against trading people. So if this group, if they spend all this money for some guys and somebody doesn't fit, would you really be surprised if Brad Stevens decided to make a switch midstream? But all things considered, like I said, do you like the move to extend Holiday? Do you maybe hope they might have done that, taking that money somewhere else? You think the price tag's too much? I mean, I just want to hear what you have to say about it. Like I said, for me as a Celtics fan, I completely understand why they did it. I'm perfectly fine with it, as long as a Derek White extension comes along with this soon. But that's all I got for you. Thanks for tuning in. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you did, like button, subscribe, share, follow, all that good stuff. You already know what to do. If you are new to the channel, appreciate you stopping by, clicking on the video. Greatly appreciate that. I would love to hear from you in the comment section. What do you think about the video? Where you're watching from, whatever. Also, the NBA season does end Sunday. Play-in tournament starts next Tuesday. Playoffs start next Saturday. So expect to see some NBA watch-alongs coming up here pretty soon. Did them last year. They were great. Bringing those back again this year. So make sure you notification bell so you'll know when I go live. Love to see you all in the comment section under those. But yeah, I'll let you enjoy the rest of your day. Be safe. God bless. I'll see you in the next video. All right.